Good morning. I'm Debbie Hatch, a federal benefits and retirement specialist. I've been doing classes now for over 12 years in hundreds of different locations and trained thousands of federal employees on their retirement and their benefits. I'm also the owner and CEO of Pinnacle Personnel Services and Federal Benefits Services. But I wanted to get on here this morning and talk a little bit about flexible spending accounts, because this is an open season that's going on in the federal government right now. And as I've been doing a lot of classes, I've come to realize that many employees really aren't aware of what flexible spending accounts are or how these can potentially save them money on their income taxes. That's what I wanted to get into. I'm sitting here at my kitchen table having a cup of coffee, and that's exactly what I want to do. We'll just have a talk. It makes these things a little bit less frightening as you're making plans for your future. So what is a flexible spending account anyway? A flexible spending account is a program that allows you to sign up during an open season. The federal government's open season runs from the second week of November to the second week of December every single year, and the changes that you make during open season become effective with the first pay period of January. But during that open season, you would elect which one of the flexible spending accounts you want to sign up for and how much money you want to put into the account. That money is going to come out of your paycheck pre-tax. Within the federal government, we have three different flexible spending accounts. One is a healthcare flexible spending account. The second is a limited expense healthcare flexible spending account. And the third one is called a dependent care flexible spending account. For the healthcare flexible spending and limited expense healthcare flexible spending, the maximum that I can contribute for this coming year is going to be $2,600, and that's an increase of $50 over what it's been for the last couple of years. The limit for the dependent care account is $5,000. So during this open season, I would elect to sign up, pay the maximum. The minimum is $100 per year or anything in between, whatever I choose. That money is going to be subtracted from my paycheck before I pay any type of income tax. It's going to go into my flexible spending account bucket, and as I go through the next calendar year, I'm going to be reimbursed now out of this bucket for the cost of things that I had to pay for. Now I have the ability to pay for those things as a pre-tax versus a post-tax. So that's how they save you money on income tax. What each will reimburse you for depends on which one of the flexible spending accounts you signed up for. The healthcare flexible spending account will reimburse you for anything that is health related except the cost of premiums. So if your health insurance or your dental and vision insurance or whatever you have was charging you a copay or a deductible, you can be reimbursed for those copays and deductibles now on a pre-tax basis. And they make it super easy. You can link this account to your health insurance if you would like, and they will just automatically take care of that stuff for you. You don't even have to submit any type of claim. The healthcare flexible spending account can also be used for stocking your medicine cabinet. I like to tell people in class, you could use it for eyeglasses, hand sanitizer, sunscreen, purifier, really anything that's health related, with one caveat, and that is because of the passage of Obamacare back in 2011. You can't be reimbursed for the cost of over-the-counter medication unless you have a prescription from a doctor. So if you're buying things like Advil or ibuprofen, or you're buying things even like vitamins, unless you have a prescription for those over-the-counter medications, you're not going to be reimbursed under the healthcare flexible spending. But everything else except premiums is covered with that program. For the limited expense healthcare flexible spending, it's limited from two different ways. Number one, the only people who can participate in a LEX account are those enrolled in a high deductible health insurance plan. So high deductible health insurance plan, I always like to talk about car insurance instead of health insurance. People generally understand it better. It means you contact your car insurance company this afternoon and you tell them that you want to raise your deductible. Your rates are going to go down, your premiums are going to go down, you're going to save money provided you don't have an accident. But as soon as you do have an accident, now you have to pay the higher deductibles for that plan. Okay, so high deductible health insurance is exactly the same thing. It's just from a health insurance perspective instead of a car insurance perspective. So the LEX account is limited only to people who have one of those high deductible plans. And if you do, the LEX account limits to only reimbursement for dental and vision expenses, but nothing else. Again, the healthcare unlimited expense, the minimum you could put in is $100. The maximum you can put in for 2017 is going to be $2,600. And the dependent care account is an account that reimburses you for the cost of having someone cared for so that you can work. Generally, that's going to be a child up to the age of 13. It does cover daycare facilities, it covers a babysitter, it can cover even preschool if you have to pay for your child to go to preschool, up to age 13. You could also use that account, though, to pay for anyone you can legally claim on income tax. So if you're caring for elderly parents and they're unable to stay home alone, you have to hire someone to care for them. The dependent care account could reimburse you for the cost of their care as well. That one's a minimum of $100. It's a maximum of $5,000 this year. For the healthcare and the limited expense healthcare, you can spend the money right away. So if I sign up in this November to December open season and I say I'm going to put in $2,500, come January, I can spend $2,500. And the money's coming out of my paycheck for the remainder year to go into the account to reimburse the government for what they gave me back. With the dependent care flexible spending account, it's pay as you go. So the money does have to be in the account before I'm able to spend it, which is a little bit different from the healthcare and the limited expense healthcare flexible spending account. One of the things that has concerned employees about these FSAs is that they've been use or lose accounts. So people get incredibly nervous. I don't want to put $2,600 into this account and lose it at the end of the year. So I like to tell people you have to be somewhat strategic then, right? Start planning. What do you have going on next year? You got a lot of stuff, then maybe you want to max out the account with the $2,600. You don't have a lot of things going on, then maybe you go for the lower end. You pick $100, you pick $1,000. At least you save a little bit of money on income tax, even if you're not maxing this thing out. The other thing is that you really don't need to be overly concerned about losing money because you can spend it on so many different things. $5,000 for dependent care, you're going to spend that easily with the cost of daycare these days, so we don't even need to worry about that one. But for the other two, I need to look at my account, maybe October, the very 1st of November, and see how much money's in there, because I have until December 31st to spend the money. So if I've got extra in there in October, now it is time for me to go and get some reading glasses. Maybe I'm going to go and have my physical for this year. I'm going to go have my teeth cleaned. I'm going to do whatever so that I can be reimbursed out of that account and I don't lose money. There's no reason you should lose money. The other thing is that they're not true use or lose accounts anymore. Last year the law changed, and now, provided you enroll in a flexible spending account for the coming year as well. So you have to sign up every single year that you want to do these things. It's not just one and done. If I sign up to do a flexible spending account next year too, then they will roll forward $500 from this year into the next year. So I would only lose something if I had over that $500 as we went into the next year. And that's really important. I was talking to an attendee at one of my seminars just this week, and it was a new employee orientation type of class. So the gentleman came and talked to me, and he said, wow, I signed up for one of these flexible spending accounts last year. I didn't realize how inexpensive it is to be 22 years old. Right? Oh, to be 22 years old. So he's not going to the doctors a lot. He doesn't have any type of supplemental things that he needs to pay for anything. He maxed out the account, and then he didn't end up spending his money last year. So he ended up losing some money. But my advice to him, as I just said in the video, right? Cut it back. The next year, don't do the full $2,500, but just do a little bit. Just do a half of that or whatever else. Now you're being reimbursed out of this bucket continually with pre-tax money instead of post-tax. There's more I could say about the flexible spending accounts, but I think that's probably enough for this. I do, again, want to tell you if you need or you would like the PDF, leave me your email address. I'll be happy to send that to you. There's no charge for that at all. If you'd like a little bit more information overall for federal benefits, retirement, or flexible spending accounts, you can request that I send you a copy of my handbook. I use this in classes. This book is going for $24.95 right now. That does include shipping and handling. So that's an option for you. Another option is that you can click on the cover photo on the top of this page. And I have some webinars that are going to be coming up. Those are 1 hour They are live, so I will be right on the call with you. You'll be looking at the slides, you'll be learning about the benefits, and once that hour of training is over, then I'll remain on the line for a 15-minute Q&A segment. If you have any questions, you're free to ask at that point too. Thanks. I hope that this was helpful, and I hope that if you have any questions about flexible spending accounts while we're in the open season, you'll let me know so that I can help you with this process. Take care.